150 Ways to be Dutiful to Your Mother. I contemplated regarding those who were guided by Allah to be dutiful to their mothers, and it became apparent to me that their deeds were in fact not difficult, and that the effort they exerted to achieve their mother's happiness was not strenuous, and this knowledge of how simple and easy achieving their happiness was gives contentment to the soul. I noticed that they possessed 3 characteristics: intelligence, a smiling face, and sincerity, which continually supported them in performing their deeds, and as a result of which they attained success. Brothers and sisters, in this booklet, I present my thoughts and observation of those around me who are dutiful to their mothers in order to motivate people to follow their way. Here are 150 ways of dutifulness. If you find them worthy to be implemented, you do not hesitate in this. If not, then at least remember your brother in your supplications. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Number 1, choose an appropriate gift for each occasion and present it in a happy way to oblige her to accept it. 2, open a bank account in which all of her children share, paying a lump sum in order to cover her needs. 3, understand the different stages of life that your mother is going through and treat her accordingly. 4, carefully select the appropriate words to use when talking to her to prevent her from feeling hurt, and do not utter even one word or expression of disrespect. 5, ensure that she is the last one to see you off when you are determined to travel, and show her love and affection to her. And if she is in another country, then at least call her. 6, likewise, ensure she is the first one you meet when you return from a trip, and you should take into account telling her in advance of your arrival so as not to surprise her. 7, call her on a daily basis when you are abroad, even if only for a few seconds, since it is a source of happiness for her. Ease her, relax and relieve her concerns, and keep her away from being sad. 8, take care to meet her on a daily basis if she lives in the same town as you, and try not to let the distractions of your daily life take you away from meeting her. If she does not live in the same country as you, then you must contact her on a daily basis no matter what. 10, the best way to get closer to her heart is to endear whom she likes. For example, as her children are the dearest people to her, then be gentle and helpful towards them. 11, kiss her head and hand when meeting her, since it is a great way to make her happy, and it is a wonderful way to show your appreciation to her. 12, teach your children about the importance of the high status of your mother holds in both the word and deed. Be a good example for them when you deal with her in order for them to follow in your footsteps. 13, take care to fulfill her requests and fulfill her requirements at the required time. This will bring you closer to her and prevent her from becoming angry. 14, keep your promises to her is a must. Otherwise, do not make promises to her. 15, attribute any success in your life to Allah the Almighty, then to her, as it'll make her happy and proud of you. 16, do not argue with her even if you are right. Try to use the easiest way to convey your message or your opinion if there is a genuine interest. But if you are merely arguing your point, then give it up. 17, do not underestimate her opinion before your brothers, sisters, or people, whether she is present or absent, because it is evil speech, the mentioning of which she would hate, and it would be an act of disrespect towards her. 18, do not be disrespectful towards her nor belittle her in any way due to her unawareness of some aspects of life. Rather, you should try to positively correct her without harming her. 19, avoid laughing loudly, raising your voice when you are with her, looking angrily or miserable in her presence, or mentioning what she dislikes. 20, make her the first one to know about the good news in your life and reveal your secrets to her, because it is a good means to capture her heart and make you very close to her. 21, take care of her health. If she is old, provide her with the required health equipment such as blood pressure monitors and diabetic equipment. 22, make a checkup program on a monthly basis to check on her health. As every age has different requirements, try to provide her with anything she needs accordingly. 24, during her illness, share her pain, and when she recovers, show happiness and put your hand on the place of the pain and recite the verses of Ruqyah. 25, in the event that she becomes sick, give her hope that she will become better, and be careful of talking about the possible ill fate of her disease or of a similar condition, or any relevant bad news that may cause harm to her. 26. In the event that she becomes sick, bring the doctor to her or take her to the doctor if she's able to go, and explain to the doctor the importance of giving her hope about her case. 27. Support her in keeping ties of kinship and visiting her friends, as this results in making her happy. Keeping ties of kinship is a means of elevating your rank in the sight of Allah, and do not forget to buy her relatives and friends gifts. 28. Provide her with a special box where you can put some items for children, such as chocolate, toys, gifts, and so she can present them to her grandchildren when they visit her. 29. When she goes on a long trip, try to call her every short while to check on her until she reaches her destination. 30. Do not mention your painful or unpleasant incidents to her, as it can be a source of sadness for her. 31. Do not engage in marital disputes in front of her, because this will disappoint her, so part of being kind to her is to try to make her oblivious to this nuisance. 32. Neither praise your wife too much in the presence of your mother, nor tell her about your life with your wife or what you always give to your spouse as a gift. Try to maintain a balanced relationship between them. 33. Do not reveal detailed information about your relationship with your mother to your wife. Exalt the status of your mother and do not belittle her. Strengthen the relationship between your mother and your wife. 34. Avoid judging between your parents and their arguments. You need not do so. Be neutral outwardly and work on advising and guiding covertly. 35. Do not criticize their appearance, choices, mood, style, or the way of dealing with people. If you become concerned that people would notice, then advise her gently. 36. Maintain a strong relationship with your siblings, and if there are no disagreements, this should not be in the sight or earshot of your mother, as it results in grief and misery for her. 37. Whatever the circumstances of your parents' marital relationship, don't support your father in marrying another wife. However, if you deem it necessary to support him to remarry, then keep up your support for this as a secret. 38. Teach her about the religion wisely and in a beautiful way of preaching, either by giving her cassettes, CDs, or taking her to associate with religious companions, attending religious study seminars, and beneficial religious lectures. 39. You should help her in attending the sessions of dhikr by transporting her to the palace, to that place, and providing her with the schedule pertaining to these sessions. 40. The best time to be dutiful to your parents is during worship. For example, in pilgrimage, be completely subservient to her, be extremely kind to her, and enjoy serving her. 41. Apologize to her on her behalf of your siblings whenever they do something to upset her, and praise her for the way she brought them up. Anytime something like this happens, try to explain that it is merely the whisperings of the devil. 42. Do not exaggerate the mistakes and faults committed against her by her relatives, friends, or her children, but reduce the effect of these mistakes, as this minimizes her pain and it keeps the status of her beloved relatives and friends. 43. Do not tell her about sad news or terrifying catastrophes without preparing her for the bad news in a way to minimize the impact. Also, remind her about the reward of patience. 44. Naturally, women, regardless of their age, love emotional and sentimental words, so do not hesitate to give her the best of what you can in this respect. 45. Do not make her feel that she has grown old or is unable to perform her domestic duties, but inspire her by saying the words that enhance her self-confidence. 46. Do not deprive her of anything loved by women, even if she's old, such as perfumes, cosmetics, or evening gowns, and help her to rejuvenate her youth. 47. If your father has more than one wife and they have a disagreement with your mother, don't praise their decision or support their opinion at the expense of hers. Avoid being judgmental or talking in this regard. 48. Do not show a lot of appreciation in your mother's presence concerning the way other people raise their children, because doing so shows that you are dissatisfied about the way she raised you. 49. When she talks, pay full attention and focus your heart and sight on her. Smile at her when she tells jokes and react appropriately in a sad situation. 50. Meet her smiling, joke with her respectfully, caress her gently. Do not be a burden on her, and in difficult situation, be serious, concerned, and alert. 51. Inform her about any updates surrounding her in this world and narrate to her the best of stories. Tell her what makes her happy, because mothers desire conversing with their children. 52. Always praise her for your good upbringing and be grateful to her for her hard efforts. There is nothing easier than saying thank you. 53. Inform her that you greatly desire for her to live a happy life and that she is well pleased with you, and that you want to be source of her happiness. 54. If her parents are alive, do not be lazy to support her in being dutiful to them, and if they are dead, make more charity and pray for them. 55. Make endowment for her, resulting in increasing her rewards in the hereafter, such as contributing to build mosques, sponsoring orphans, or memorizers of the Quran, helping the poor and the needy, etc. 56. When she mentions any of her wishes or anything she desires, do not wait until she requests it from you, but take the initiative and help her achieve her wishes as much as you can. 57. Give her the most priority of anything over your work and even your children and your wife. 58. Be generous to her in your house. Ask her to visit you very frequently and persuade her to sleep in your house. These things all change her life. 59. Take her with you on a journey with your children, your brother and sisters, and seek the way that penetrates the happiness into her heart as it refreshes her in the life. 60. From time to time, take her with whom you love to have a meal in a luxurious restaurant, but note that this type of activity will not suit every age group. If she rejects, then try to convince her. 61. Visiting malls or big markets might make her happy, so why don't you try to have her achieve that? 62. Present her a gift in order for her to give it to your father, which is righteousness to your parents. 63. Being grateful and kind to your father is something that will make her proud of you. 64. Your appreciation of her treatment and management of her house, as well as her services to her husband, your father, motivates her, raises her spirit, and enhances her confidence. 65. Girls are generally closer to mothers than boys. The girl should keep her secrets, reveal the secrets to her, and try to understand her thoughts and treat her as if she is a friend of theirs. 66. Mothers need males more than girls in difficult situations, so they must support her hardship and be with her. 67. Be gentle with your sisters. Present them great gifts and treat them nicely, because as it will make your mother happy, as any mother loves her daughters to be treated gently. 68. Do not be shy of any action taken by your mother that suits her age, and be reasonable to the surroundings. Be proud of her in whatever she does. 69. Teach your children how to be nice with her, kissing her head and hand. Send with them gifts on the different occasions. 70. Hold her hand when she's old, help her to put on her shoes, guide her to her way, walk her to the hospital and to her errands, as you are the most responsible for her. 71. Make an award for whoever treats her well from your children, for who comes first in serving her, or for who creates a new way to be dutiful. 72. Naturally, mothers take care of her house, so help her in making her house to be in the best condition, for example, by maintaining and following the process of its development periodically. 73. The bedroom has a special place in the heart of the mother, so you do your best to present her with appropriate gifts and give her the chance to choose what fits her in this regard, as well as the guest room. 74. Be dutiful to her relatives and help her in this respect. Try to link between them and by helping her visit them, and remind her to call and buy them gifts. 75. If she fancies a certain hobby, try to dedicate some of your time for her to enjoy it, and provide her with what she needs in this regard, and familiarize her with everything new in her world. 76. Occupy her in your hobbies. Provide her with a special treatment by writing her a poem if you are a poet. If you are a writer, write her an article or tweet. 77. In some societies, women like to be referred to as mother of any name of her grandchildren. For example, mother of Muhammad or Nasir. But due to the fact that she doesn't want to interfere into her son's business, she usually doesn't want to show that. So honor her with giving her what she desires. 78. When she and your family go in your car, give her the priority of sitting her first and on the most comfortable position. When you get in and out, make sure that she is before, unless the matter requires that. 79. Don't speak rudely, roughly, or in a way that does not compliment her high status. Use the most beautiful words with her. 80. Make a contest between children on who presents the best gift to their mother, which enhances their status in their hearts and motivates them to perform good deeds. 81. You should try constantly to seek the accepted supplications time, such as the last third of night, Friday, and during prostration, then pray for her. 82. Inform your mother about how the guests are happy about what she offered them in the banquets or any kind of invitation because it refreshes her. 83. The time dedicated to her should be enough, and no matter what, you should spend with her without any interruption on account of phone calls, reading newspapers, or magazines. 84. Girls should get the mother to know their friend and should not be embarrassed from her or tell her not to do a certain action or under in any form. 85. Be proud of her at any place and time, and she must be your first priority. 86. Narrate some of the stories of righteousness and send her some clips of this subject, which enjoys them. 87. Ask her to pray for you that God's help you to be dutiful to her, which proves to her your interest to be so. 88. Ask her always to be satisfied with you as it indicates its importance for you. 89. Always take the initiative and act before everybody in being dutiful. Always create new ways of dutifulness that result in rewarding you, and you will have the same reward for those who implement this without deducting their reward. 90. Don't raise your voice in her presence. Be humble and lenient when requesting or serving her, or in the best words while serving her. 91. If you live in the same town where your mother lives, try to live near her as much as you can, as it helps keeping ties of kinship solid, and it simplifies the way for you to act piously. 92. If you work in another city, take into account visiting her at any opportunity, and don't be late, since she has patients waiting for you and she will not complain when she needs to be patient with his affairs. 93. It is not enough to visit her alone, but you should take your family with you, your wife and children, until an appropriate relationship for her is formed between her and your family. 94. Avoid your ego and your desires. Give the preference of your mother over yourself. Request her to accept that, as fulfilling her desire is part of the perfection of dutifulness. 95. Sit with yourself and review your deeds, how good your performance was towards your mother, whether you were satisfactory or not, or still needing more to reach her satisfaction. 96. Be sure that whatever you did to your parents, it'll return back to you. If you're dutiful, your children will be so. So if it is the other way around, you will experience the same. So work on achieving their satisfaction, and you will be happy in this life and in the hereafter. 97. In the event that she is sick, attend to her and bring who you want to serve her. 98. Do not neglect praising her taste in the presence of all in terms of buying clothes or her appearance, etc. 99. Narrate to her your actions or your journeys, during which you can show her the pictures of you and your friends, and all that will result in her praying for you, which is the higher purpose. 100. Receive her concerns in a welcoming manner and accept her remarks and execute her instructions humbly. 101. Consult her and take her advice. 102. When you are sitting with her, sit in a manner that suits her status. 103. During the meal, follow the manners of eating with her. Prefer her over yourself by giving her what she likes of foods and drinks. 104. Understand her psychological state of mind and the way she lives. Treat her accordingly. Try to know her tendencies and provide her with more than what she deserves. 105. The daughters must not be busy with their married lives until it causes dilemmas with care of her mother. Her attribution to her family must not affect her dutifulness to her mother, since the daughter has a special position with her mother. 106. Some of the mother's private matters cannot be known by her son, so preferably the daughter should be alert in this regard and not forget about her mother. 107. During the visit to your family, don't let your children spoil or ruin your house. As a result, mother will be burdened with fixing them. 108. If your children ruin some of your mother's house properties, you must fix the damages and substitute it with something better. 109. Normally, the patient's state of mind changes, so it is better to visit them during their sickness, provided that we should be alert to prevent her from the children making noise. 110. With the increase of the amount of the children visiting, it is preferable to organize a visiting schedule because bringing all children at once on the same day is not necessary. 111. It is worth those having a lot of children to take them to a reasonable place where the mother cannot be annoyed by their noise, such as a park, a spacious place where she can relax. 112. To make a charity work is a suitable act presented by the children as a gift and reciprocity of gratefulness to their mother. 113. Each one of the children is talented in a certain activity. For example, some of them are hard workers, some are sociable, etc. Try to be dutiful in that which you are gifted. 104. It is preferable that each son should know his characteristics and are loved by his mother, and try to use them. If you want to capture your mother's heart, never stop visiting her. A mother never tires of seeing her children. 116. Provide her with modern communication devices, teach her how to use them, how she can utilize them, and the bill should be paid by you. 117. If the mother possesses a cellular phone, send her the best wishes as it remains in her heart and increases love. 118. If the mother is old, you may wrap a set of gifts in order to give them to her friends and acquaintances. 119. When calling your mother, do not be in a hurry, but slow down and listen to her until you know her needs, and do not hang up before she does. 120. In the presence of her, you should be well behaved without raising your voice, creating controversies, quarrel, or mention anything that is reluctant to answer. 121. When coming from a trip, present her with a gift from the country where you came from, which will remain in her memory about your trip and an expression of your happiness upon seeing her. 122. The place where your mother was brought up, as well as the place of the early days of her marriage, have a special place in her heart. Why don't you take her to enjoy remembering those unforgettable places? 123. Teaching children about the virtue of dutifulness, inspiring them to compete over being the best in this respect, can be a source of happiness for them. In addition, they will do good deeds for you in the future. 124. If your parents got divorced, do not criticize any one of them with anything they hate. 125. In case of any disputes within the family, offer functional solutions in a diplomatic manner to save the ship from sinking, in order to abate any concerns and to gladden the mother. 126. If your mother gets married to another husband other than your father, respect and be generous to him. Present her gifts on different occasions as it sets her heart at peace. 127. If your mother is a wife to somebody else, respect him, consult him in some of your issues, and take his advice. 128. Call those who are close to your mother's heart from your own phone and make it easy for her to contact and visit them. 129. When she gets old, keep being with her. Be affectionate towards her, hold her hand, orientate her, give her a hand, provide her with what she needs, and never leave her without assistance. 130. If her opinion was contrary to yours, don't be stubborn, but be easygoing and pay her compliments, even if she was wrong, unless it is disobedience to the Creator. 131. If she's one of those followers of magazines, papers, or any stuff relevant to the library, then help her to participate in that activity as a gift. 132. Always give her money and don't wait for her to ask you, as some mothers do not want to embarrass their children by doing so. 133. If you bought her needs or fulfill her requirements, do not take back the value of that by asking for money. Make it as a gift for her. 134. Open a bank account for her where you should put some money every so often. Teach her how to use the ATM machine, which means that you are making her feel secure. 135. If you commit a mistake against her, rush to apologize and send the best friend of her as a mediator to accept your apology. In addition, send her a gift for forgiveness. 136. When she gets old, don't call her by the names that make her feel aged. Calling her grandmother or any hints at age may annoy her. 137. If you observe any misbehavior in her marital life, don't advise her directly, but try to clarify the point without hurting her feelings and remind her about her husband's right. 138. Try always to update yourself with a new act of righteousness to her, and think about the condition of dutiful people surrounding you and try to utilize their deeds, their ideas. Add some features on that and do it for your mother. 139. Do not limit yourself at a certain level of the righteousness, but put into consideration that any deeds you provide her is less than entitlements. In addition, always find ways to make your dutifulness more perfect and your deeds much better. 140. Whatever her actions, ideas, or opinions, don't obviously belittle them, but try to be lenient and complimenting of the action. 141. Do not interrupt her or disregard her by not paying attention during her conversation. Do not converse or listen to others when she's talking to you, but give her your full attention. 142. Try to increase your knowledge with regards to the virtue of dutifulness and the biographies of righteous people as it develops your inspiration. 143. If you see a person afflicted with impiety, then say, All praise and thanks are due to Allah, who restored me to health before that which He afflicted many people with this, and this is rather a protection for you from the evil of mocking. 144. During her visit with you, do not turn your back to her or away from your attention. Maintain that you should be the nearest person to her and the fastest one of serving her. 145. When she wants to walk, bring her shoes or slippers and put them on her feet. Walk with her side by side, holding her hand. Always follow her with your sight and heart. 146. Do not be the last one to know her news. The last one congratulating her or console her during her trials. Take the initiative in this respect as it reflects on how conscientious you are. 147. In the event she's mad at you, do not respond to her or justify your stance in the situation at once. If you are wrong, extend your apology and ask her for forgiveness. 148. Some mothers are quick-tempered, so be patient, tolerant, and try to accommodate her attitude. Ask God to preserve her, and you will be rewarded for your patience. 149. Write a piece of paper of her favorite things. Write each in a way by which you reach her heart and become dutiful. 150. Contemplate and think of those who have lost their mother and how they missed the opportunity to gain rewards through being dutiful. So why don't we make use of this as means as the door is still opened? 151. When she's sick, cancel your trips and appointments and focus on her so she gets better upon the presence of her children. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, we finally reached the end of the audiobook. Jazakumullahu khair al-jazaa for listening. Please do leave a comment or suggestion on the comment section. And please don't forget to like this video as well as subscribe to this channel so that we can continue reading audiobooks, Islamic audiobooks that are beneficial, inshallah. Barakallahu feekum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.